brought to you by Paint 22 and all our sponsors. Thank you so much for your support, and we can't wait to get the video started. Let's go. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Caleb from Raven Oak Art. Hope you're having an absolutely amazing day and, you know, just doing your thing and all that. So, a while back I did this video about 5 tips for new beginner artists. And one of the big tips in the video was to make your studio space your own. So I thought to myself, what does that really mean? So I'm going to kind of give you guys some tips about studios in this video, and hopefully you guys learn a few things or two, and it's cool that you guys can get a chance to see the studio, because all y'all see normally is me just painting. So, alright, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright, so number 1, and very importantly, make sure you have yourself a good easel, alright? You want your easel to be very sturdy, that way when you're hitting it, it ain't moving too much, it's staying where you want it, and your canvas is not flying in all sorts of directions. That's very important, and yeah, that one actually seems pretty self-explanatory. It's probably one of the easier ones in the video. Alright, so number 2, make sure that you have a wide range of painting material. So what that means is have your stuff organized in all sorts of different ways. So you might have your oil paints together, separated by either color, you know, how thick the pigment is or the brand, but make sure it's organized in some type of way. Now, a lot of people are very sporadic with how they have their studios. One of my best friends, I go to his studio all the time and it's stuff everywhere. But I'm completely opposite. I like to have my stuff organized, or I like for things to be where I want them to be, and I think most people are. So that's probably my big tip in regards to your oil paint / acrylics. Keep those separated. That way you don't accidentally paint oil, then accidentally put acrylic on top of it or something crazy like that. But yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. One more thing to kind of add on to that. Sometimes you can find good deals on like rags for businesses that are going out of business, and you can use them to kind of organize your paints and stuff. So that's what I personally did, and I think it's a good tip. So, or even if they're not going out of business, they'll throw out their old stuff to make room for new stuff, and I mean, they're just like, here, you can have this, so it don't end up in the trash. So anyway, enough of number 2. Okay, so number 3, this is something not a lot of people think of, and it's really important. So make sure you have a good drying rack. So I have these drying racks that are on my wall. They're kind of like just regular racks that you can buy from Home Depot and put up on your wall, and it can fit a ton of smaller paintings. But when it comes to my gigantic paintings, the way that I figured out to kind of keep that organized was I made my own personal rack. And the way I did that was I grabbed some cement blocks and grabbed some wood, stuck it through the cement blocks to give enough space, that way it doesn't touch. And I mean, this was like I probably spent $30, and like I'm able to store probably about, well, if I sell the paintings that are normally on them, they're normally big ones, so I could probably sell about $6,000 worth of paintings on these racks. So I mean, it seems like a really good win-win situation there. But anyway, that's a huge thing that nobody thinks about, and yeah, that's tip number 3, I believe. So alright, so tip number 4, you want to make sure you have a dedicated space in your room for your cleanup area. So henceforth, your solvents, your baby oils, your all sorts of stuff like that, make sure it's all together and, you know, somewhere that you're not slinging that stuff everywhere, because it's nasty, it can get on your walls and all sorts of stuff. So make sure that you have a dedicated area. I'll show you guys mine and y'all can check it out. I mean, it's real simple. I literally just bought 2 chairs and basically 90% of my studio stuff that I just cheaply kind of put together and made it work somehow. So I think those tend to be the best studios because you're like, hey, I made it work. So, and to add on to the cleanup area, another thing I'm gonna add is make sure you have a good dehumidifier or or like air conditioner. Like for instance, I don't have central heating and air in my studio. It's like the one room in my house for some reason that just doesn't get it. So I had to like actually install a wall unit basically into my wall, and it actually dehumidifies the room for me so I can, you know, paint and stuff. But yeah, anyway, so I'll show y'all that, and we can go on and move over to number 5. Alright, so tip number 5, and this is actually a really important one, and if you held on this long, make sure to click that subscribe button. Alright, so basically number 5 is a good rolling station, and what a rolling station is a whole area that you have to put your paints on, your palette on, your stuff you might use underneath, and it has layers. All right, and they go for about $100 online. They're very, very expensive, but what I discovered was a cheap alternative is to go to Walmart and get yourself a laundry rack, which is normally about $15, and it's something you put your towels on and all sorts of stuff. Well, you pretty much can do the same thing because it has 3 layers. You put your paint, your brushes, like I do, and then like stuff like gloves, paper towels, etc., etc. And then on top of it, you can grab some duct tape, the all-powerful duct tape, and then tape it around it and use that as your palette on top. So it's a really cool, cheap, effective thing, and it costs you probably about, I mean, including the palette, maybe $30. So it's a really cool, cheap alternative than to pay $100 just for something that literally can be done way easier. So I'll include the video so y'all can check that one out. Alright, so I thought I'd throw in a bonus one. Alright, so I know I said this last time, but it's so true. Alright, make your studio your own. So for me, I know that whenever y'all see my videos, a lot of times I have flowers in here because I use a lot of flowers as reference material. But what y'all don't see is I have stuff in here like artwork. And a lot of times people advise not to have artwork in your studio because it makes you want to paint like that. But I use that kind of as a driving factor. So I have my friends' artwork. I don't have my own artwork. And basically I look at their artwork and I'm like, man, that gets me painting because I'm like, my friends are out here doing the same thing. So put things in your studio that's going to motivate you to paint, all right? I mean, if it's a TV, I got a TV in here because I watch videos from classes I see online all the time and all these great instructors that teach. And, you know, just things that make you happy and inspire you. So make sure to do that. And yeah, I really wholeheartedly hope this video's helped you out. I mean, I enjoyed making it. And yeah, if you guys like this type of video, make sure to let me know so I can continue to do it. But anyway, thank you guys. Happy painting to you, and God bless you. Bye.